Welcome back to the Rich Fritzky Not Dead Yet show. So early in this podcasting game, I didn't intend to go political as of yet. I wanted to speak more about the values that we share, devoid of all of that which divides us in America today. I think I just wanted you to like me, so I intended to tell you some interesting stories, even a few powerful ones, aimed at building a rapport with you and prospective listeners of all stripes and persuasions. I wanted to do all of that first, but I've been rattled today, and this one piece simply couldn't be ignored. For the shit, as they say, is hitting the fan as I speak. So let me begin by acknowledging truth. When I, in what was another lifetime, back in 1975, ran in a Democratic primary against two incumbent legislators, the major newspaper in Bergen County, New Jersey, actually endorsed me while defining me as a maverick and an unabashed liberal. There you have it. While respectful of all and ever open to discussion and argument, I have remained personally faithful to that tag. My political ideal, and one whose loss I have never stopped mourning, is Bobby Kennedy. My some men see things as they are and say why. I dream things that never were and say why not. Champion. Presidential candidates I have actually worked for included a 4-term mayor of the city of Boston, Kevin Hagan White. And oh, do I have stories to tell about him and his city. Senator Frank Church of Idaho, who championed nuclear disarmament and peace. And most recently, my New Jersey United States Senator Bill Bradley, who had a mind and a heart that could marvelously puzzle its way through intractable problems to solutions. Oh, I did vote for a few winners, but I never had the pleasure of working for one. And now, while it is not the all of me, I am, unabashed liberal that I am, a champion of one Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. My 2016 Bernie bumper sticker is still on my visibly beat-up handicapped van. What drove me to let you know this now, prematurely I might add, was a Facebook post that was actually written by my wife Maggie, the love of my life, the mother of our 12 children, multiple stories there for another day as well, and grandmother, of course, of 22 light up your life grandchildren. I just happened to read a Facebook post of hers this morning, one that moved me to get to this, one that called me into action today at what is a critical juncture. Even if I affect just one person out there, why the hell not? My brief response to Maggie was this: love you, your faith, your conviction, your fierce willingness to fight for hope and justice, and a better and brighter day for our broken country. Everywhere around you, the denizens of doom who have abandoned hope rise up with their old factoids, accusations, and minutiae in an attempt to trip Bernie up. And like sheep to the slaughter, they cry out, no, nay, never, no, nay, never. We can no longer do or even aspire to great things. They forget that it is about the present and the future and what Bernie commits to striving to do in the here and now, and not about yesterday that matters. It is about the possible, the compassionate, and the good, which is what you, my beautiful wife, fight for hope. As Andy tells Red in Shawshank Redemption, is a good thing. It is, as Pete also tells Rudy, the only thing that makes life tolerable. Yes, the only thing, hope. And certainly the only thing that matters when casting a vote for the presidency. You are an apostle of hope, Maggie, and you give me hope. And in so holding up Bernie's faith in us to reach for the damn sky again. Stay the course, no matter how many times I tell you to put the cell phone down. That's it. That's it, after reading a profound post of my wife's. A chronic abuser of my own heart and soul, I still insist upon poring over the daily news, all the outlets, that is, and oh, what a shit show it has become today. Truth and honor and fairness, no. Genuine news, no. Minutia, yes. Suppositions, yes. Editorializing as if it were news, oh, most certainly yes. There's no there anymore. Everyone I read today is on the How Do We Stop Bernie page. The other 6 candidates and virtually every news outlet. After Iowa, where he won the popular vote, the stories were about his failure. After New Hampshire, where he wins, the stories were that he didn't meet expectations. And even after he levels the playing field in Nevada, they still found a way. Consider this just today from the old all the news that's fit to print New York Times. They wrote a hit piece suggesting that Bernie's not doing what he promised to do insofar as bringing new people into the political arena is concerned. As if they had intimate knowledge, by the way, of everyone who voted for Bernie last Saturday. And as if, and this is the real crazy, as if there's nothing to consider as to building over the long course of a presidential campaign, the delivery of that promise, as if it all busted and came a cropper after the third state weighed in. MSNBC News keeps reincarnating James Carville, the ever-present vestige of gloom and doom and, dare I say, idiocy, who once defined President Obama himself as unelectable. Chris Matthews goes so far as to relate Bernie's Nevada win to the fall of France to the Nazis. Everywhere, establishment Democrats cry out, he can't win, he can't win. Oh my God, 4 more years of Trump. Oh, the field must coalesce and take control. We must get control back. And everyone writes about it, talks about it. Chris Cuomo, Anderson Cooper, George Stephanopoulos, et al. Chime in. All card-carrying members of the Stop Bernie gang. And since everything he's about in the present is resonating with all segments of the voting public, they join hands in diving deep into words said and positions taken by Bernie in what was literally another lifetime, 25 to 30, even 40 years ago, as if we're all wired exactly as we were in our youth, as if growth in knowledge and in wisdom and in passion simply doesn't count. It is the height of hypocrisy to suggest, as they madly do, that Bernie in the living present, the only one out there with the damn courage of his convictions, is but a vestige of who he was in 1985 or so, as if he never evolved into the wonder of the grown-ass man that he is today. Again and again they claim he must be stopped because he can't win. The media and the Democratic establishment both cry out the same. And on its merits, it's a baseless charge, as virtually every poll taken for the past 4 years shows Bernie Sanders defeating Trump. Those taken now continue to demonstrate the same. And yet this ignorant pretense, this hallucinogenic myopia of the lot of them. And truth is, and this is never spoken about, truth is, were he nominated 4 years ago, the mourning, the desperation, the gut punch to civility and honor would likely have never even come to pass. President Trump, who gets a kick out of calling him Crazy Bernie, will well find him. And I promise you this, when in the thick of the race, to be the only one who he can't rattle, to be the only one who he can't throw off his game. For he is the only Democratic candidate who is an absolute bona fide straight shooter, the only one who doesn't obfuscate, the only one who is firmly committed to policy objectives that are fervently aimed at saving the planet and giving all those who are hurting in America today a hope and a prayer, and a shot at rendering their lives more livable, more meaningful, more bountiful. The motives of those who will go after him tonight at South Carolina's debate will not be pure. Disingenuous and snide, they'll go at it, and so too will the legions of Democratic Party insiders who have made a damned living off of the party. All will predict Bernie's loss, while all is ultimately driven by their own fear of personal loss, lost influence, lost power, and maybe even lost income. Bernie will hold his own because he knows just who he is and what all we amorphous average Americans desperately long for. Bernie Sanders was born for this. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe and take a chance on me, The Rich Fritzky Show, not dead yet. Be back to you soon. Thanks for listening.